After the conclusion of the first test match at Perth, the projection is very much clear that it won't be easy for Australia from here on. So, if we analyze the game itself, the game can be easily be divided into two halves, and unfortunately, the game was over at the end of the day one. It looks like the Australians came with too much of overconfidence because there was a talk a week before the match itself that it's going to be a spicy wicket and with too much of pace and bounce, it's going to rattle the inexperienced Indian side. And Australia, they're known, especially with Pat Cummins' captaincy, they're known for theoretical preparation. They're highly theoretical side. So I've seen in the documentaries, the two documentaries they've made on Australian cricket on Amazon Prime, that I've seen Pat Cummins as one of the most organized captains. In fact, he does his homework better than anybody else. And in that case, the influence of the coaching staff becomes little lesser, I believe. And moreover, he's not an instinctive captain. He's not making his instinctive decisions on the field. So if he's coming with a certain plan, he's going to stick to that plan. And if that plan fails, then it is pretty obvious that the shutters are down. So in the World Cup final last year at Ahmedabad, he came with a perfect plan. He decided that we are going to bat second because it's a black soil, I believe, and we are going to bat second. We're going to chase. We're going to use the dew factor, and everything fell according to the plan. Had Rohit Sharma had played a little longer, had another 50 more runs, that target would have been 300 plus, and that was going to be extremely hard for Australia to chase down the target. So when plan A did work, because they wanted to put India, they wanted to finish off India somewhere between under 250, 260. And that's exactly what happened. So here, they made a spicy wicket here at Perth, and they had a 100% record. Even in 2018, a depleted Aussie side, with all of the things that were going on off the field, they still managed to win at Perth, here at Optus Stadium, and despite Virat Kohli's one of the finest hundreds. Here, it looked pretty evident that they were intimidated. Indians, for the last 5-6 years I've seen, they've been beating opponents more through the intimidation rather than the quality itself. Of course, there is extreme quality. I mean, look at Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Arshdeep Rana with his pace, and the newcomers, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Yes, there is extreme talent, there is extreme quality, but at the same time, there is a level of intimidation that actually puts the opposition on the back foot. And the moment they're seeing Jasprit Bumrah's pace, the bounce, and the moment he starts picking wickets, they have no answers for Bumrah, and they were petrified. And if you look at the entire Australian side, it's the aging side. When I say aging side, they're actually old, literally old side. More than 7 of the players are in the mid-30s. The bowlers, I mean, tell me any other team in the world that has bowlers in their mid-30s, the main bowlers. You can't expect too much, and it's so predictable. Indians have been playing Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, Lyon for a decade now. And it's because, just like Australians, Indians do have a very good fundamental theoretical plan, a blueprint before a match begins. So they know exactly what kind of bowlers these are. Mitchell Stark, despite all his heroics, all his greatness over the years, he doesn't have a greatest of the numbers, wickets against India. He was part of the 2018 campaign. He was part of the 2020 campaign and is part of the campaign now. How much has that been impacted? He's gone for a lot of runs. Pat Cummins arguably looked one of the most ordinary bowlers on this test match, with Hazelwood looking the best among all, just because of his relentlessness, his relentless consistency, and is able to bowl a similar line with a relentless effort. Now, Pat Cummins has made a statement after the match saying that there won't be a whole lot of changes. But that is not a good sign because you have 10 days and you have a lot of time to think. It can be a boon or it can be a bane, because when you have a lot of time to think, then nothing works. It's usually when there are lesser time, let's say about 4 or 5 days to the next game, usually you tend to forget and you regroup much more faster. When you have this more than a week to go, then there is so much of things that will go on now. The media is hopping upon them. It doesn't look good. All the papers we've seen today that are really, really going after the Aussie side, they don't have a bowling coach because he's sitting in the IPL auction table. So, and moreover, it's not just aging. The intent of the Aussie side was questionable. They never looked. Of course, this Australian side is not the same as the ones that we have seen of the Ponting era or Steve Owen or Mark Taylor's era. You cannot bring that. And you don't have a captain with such intimidation or such instincts. He is just a captain. He's a well-organized captain. He does his job. That's it. He's not a great captain. He's not going to instill that motivating factor or go there, let's fight it out. How many times since I've been watching live cricket for the past 30 years and never seen Australia come back after a humiliating defeat in a test match or test series at all. Either they have dominated, either they are bulldozed over the opposition, because that's what they do normally. They have a 90% win record for the past 30 years, the most successful test cricket or even the white ball cricket team in the world. Even in a very tense, exciting series like the Ashes in 2005, 2009, 2019 and the last 2023 as well, they started off winning. And then they lost the steam. But once they lost the first test match, I've never seen them coming back. I've seen a little bit of fight I've seen in 1999 when they tore again an aging or declining West Indies team, and they won the first test match. They lost the next two with Brian Lara's heroics, and they came back to win the fourth and the last test match. So that was the only other exception I've seen. I've never seen them come back. And how will they come back? The problem is that more than the quality of their batsmen or the bowlers, there is some kind of fear in the camp itself. And there is so much of going on with most Western teams, is that this DEI approach. I see so many support staff in the Australian camp. Some of them are women. Now the thing is, we are all for women's sports and women cricket has to come up, but some of the things we have to take a note of. Either why are they actually part of the support team of a men's cricket team that needs a very highly professional approach? Are they there as a DEI factor, just on the basis of some tokenism, or are they part of the support staff team in terms of merit? That is something that Australia needs to figure out. You got to have your best support staff. You have to have the best people, best consultants, professional people who have played cricket or who've been part of this professional setup for years. So that they need to work out. Plus, Usman Quetta may be averaging more than 45 or 50. He might have 2 or 3 great years, but I've never seen him play a great innings. He comes from a subcontinent, and I'm pretty sure that if he was still around playing in Pakistan or in India, he wouldn't have made it to India 11 or Pakistan 11 100%, because we know such players. We have far better players than him. It's because Australia do not have such players. It's a very elegant, stylish cricketer. But since Australia do not have an opener, he's been opening the batting. And he got some runs, but he hasn't played in great innings. I can't recollect a great innings from Khawaja. Although I've seen Smith, Labuschagne, Travis Head, who have all played some great knocks in their careers. At the moment, the batting is in complete disarray. Steve Smith has a long patch going on right now. He looks completely out of sorts. He looks shaky. Marnus cannot be playing another test match. I don't think he should be part of this series. I don't think he should be part of the Ashes next year because he needs to do a lot of homework. He needs to go there and play some domestic cricket or play some county cricket and figure out what is going on with him. He's got issues, not just technically, he's got mental issues. I don't think he's good enough to play Test cricket, leave alone for Australia. And again, Alex Carey. For long, I've always been saying this and always felt that Alex Carey is not a wicket-keeper batsman that Australia should be playing. He's a pretty ordinary batsman, always got some good knocks in white ball cricket. He's a pretty average batsman. Australia could have actually figured out or found out a much better batsman. They could have groomed a younger player who would have been a better player in this day and age. As a Globeman, again, he wasn't that good. And I think he's good in doing all those stuff what he did with Johnny Bairstow. But in real cricket, when he's challenged, when he's up against a tough team, an intimidating team, and he panics. He panics. He had a chance. He had a great chance to become a hero in that first innings. He flunked, blew it away, and in the second innings, he tried to hang around, but that's when ball was not doing much. So Australia need to think about that, and they can't be playing Stark for another at least couple of test matches. They need to rotate the bowlers. I don't see any other bowler who can actually test or put India in trouble. I don't know whether there is anybody in Australia's domestic cricket because I don't see anybody who can actually create havoc in Indian gap. So this is going to be a pretty long month, long series for Australia. And if things are not looking good at the moment, things in order, this is going to be a major whitewash for them, and it doesn't look good for them for the Ashes as well. A lot of heads will be rolled, a lot of question marks will come after that debacle, Sandpaper Gate. This is potentially be the lowest point of Australian cricket. Thank you.